What's up, buddy?
How's it going, man?
Good. Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Hell yeah. I was just looking at your Instagram and I realized I was scrolling through some of your posts. You know some of the guys from Shogun?
I am part of Shogun.
Shit, I should have known that. I've talked to those guys so many times, man. I tell you.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Ryan's a great guy.
Yeah. That's awesome, dude. So you got your you got your some of your gear on.
Yeah, some of it. Yeah.
That's cool, dude. Is that a what's on the front? Is that a camera carrier?
Oh, this no, it's a holster carrier. I
Oh,
usually have
nice.
my yeah. I took it off for this thing, but usually I have my Glock here, so that's easy to take off.
I gotcha. Yep.
I don't like running hip holsters or belt holsters. I like having everything on my rig when I jump,
Yeah.
so easier to pull out when I need to go into quicker stuff.
Yeah, absolutely, man. That's cool.
Thank you.
Yeah, dude. So introduce yourself and then get into like how you got into airsoft and stuff, and then we'll go into all your gear. I'll bring up your Instagram too and your TikTok. You got a
Yeah,
cool bunch of cool stuff on there.
yeah, and I also got a YouTube too. So yeah, I got
Yeah.
all. I try to get all three. Okay, well, let's see. Been in Airsoft for about 17 years now. So yeah, I've been playing for a long time.
Nice.
Seen a lot of stuff change in this industry over the years. So it's been crazy.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, and so yeah, and well, introduce myself. I am the Airsoft Viking. Uh, yeah, and just started doing that. It's been about a year now since I've unveiled the Viking loadout, and it's been fun. It's
Yeah.
crazy. Uh, just the idea came to me one day. My buddy and I used to run with this idea all the time, and was kind of like, I want to, because I did the MilSim thing for a while, and I dabbled in Speedsoft here and there, but it just wasn't clicking anymore. And took about a year off at one point, and I'm like, and when I came back, I decided to go, you know what, let's do something different. And then I started meeting a lot of different guys, seeing them doing crazy things with their gear loads out. Guys are putting, I've seen guys dress up as knights. I've seen guys do like Sean Wick. I've seen guys do all kinds of crazy stuff in Airsoft.
Hmm.
And I'm like, I want to do that. So, but I'm like, what can I do? What's gonna be different? So I started thinking about my heritage, and I'm like, my ancestors were Vikings. I haven't really seen anybody do anything crazy. So at one point, I started looking around, going, what can I do? And I started looking at different guys that are, because there are other Vikings of airsoft out there, but they're not really doing what I'm doing.
Yeah.
So I'm like, let's do something. So I started looking up stuff, and I go, you know what? Got an old gear set that I don't really use. I'm gonna dabble with it and put fur on and some horns on a helmet, and the Viking was born.
Yeah, dude, that's cool. Yeah, I was gonna ask you what so before that, you pretty much just dressed like regular like milsim gear and all that kind of
Yeah,
stuff.
pretty
And
much. Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
I used to run around in like a burnt skull face mask at one point, the old school Evite burnt skull looking mask and stuff like
Uh-huh.
that, and ran with that for a while, and then I switched up to the tack helmets and the goggles and the lower faces, and realized I can breathe better in those. So I'm like, okay,
Right.
I'm gonna rock this now. And then yeah, so I started working with that and went from there. And I'm like, okay, let's try this now. Now with the themed airsoft stuff. So yeah,
That's cool, man. Yeah, I think especially people that have been I think it's good for people to do that, especially if they've been into airsoft for such a long time and
hmm
they go to a lot of events. It can get kind of old, like repetitive,
yeah,
especially if you go to the same events.
hmm
So I've seen a lot of guys that have been into airsoft for a while go kind of take on a persona, right?
yeah,
A character, or they'll switch it up and they'll do like one for this event, like a cosplay or a LARP, for
hmm
this event or that event, and kind
yeah,
of switch it up. They're really cool, man. I what I like about it is, and I was just talking about this with a couple guys from the UK today, earlier today. I had another podcast. What I like about it is it it just says, hey, look, it's okay to be an adult and still have fun like a little kid.
exactly.
Like we're
That
supposed to do that.
Well, I
we're
mean,
supposed to stay like, fun and,
yeah.
you know,
I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, I was actually having a conversation with my buddy Sci-Fi Night last night just about this. It's like, dude, we're playing with toys. I mean,
yeah,
at the end of the day, I mean, I get taking things serious, but then I'm like, at the same time, it's like, we don't always have to take it all the way serious.
right.
You know, we can have fun. I mean, we're shooting plastic pellets at each other,
Yeah.
realistically.
Yeah. I mean, being competitive is good. Like it's good. That's part of the fun,
Hmm.
and there's a balance. There's a balance with that. For anything, any kind of hobby or sport that people play, or games. It doesn't, and
Yeah.
board games or whatever, like, or video games. You see those rage quitters,
Oh
like,
yeah.
dude, like,
Yeah.
calm down. It's a game,
Yeah.
okay? But yeah,
And
it's the same thing, man.
yeah, you see it in airsoft too. I mean,
Mhm.
personally, I love watching people get rage quit over nothing. It's like, whoa, whoa, come on, relax. We're out here
Yeah,
having fun. We're gonna get shot. It happens.
I feel like when those happen, when I see these videos like that, I'm going, oh, okay, that's one of the new guys. Like he hasn't been
Yeah.
playing for long enough. That's what it
Hmm.
is. Okay, he doesn't know yet. That's what it is. He doesn't know.
Exactly.
He's trying to, he's still trying to like impress, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
And he doesn't realize there's a balance between the competitive and, hey, it's a game,
Yeah.
so
Exactly.
yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. It's crazy. Yeah. Yeah. Some people don't. I mean, yeah, you're right. The younger guys kind of get more a little crazy about that than us older dudes. But
Yeah.
it is. It's airsoft.
Well, I want to bring up your TikTok real quick because you got some cool
Okay.
videos on here that show off a lot of your gear and your setup. And come on, there we go. So anyone that's just listening, if you're driving to work or driving home from work or school or something, and you're just listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts or something, when you get a chance, if you want to see this cool loadout and awesome Viking setup that he has, go watch this part of the video a few minutes in, or go to his socials, which I'll have all those links in the description of this thing here, and you can check out. Go follow him, let him know that I sent you over here, or you found him from this podcast, and then you can check out his cool stuff here. This is awesome.
I ain't giving up. They can try and tear me down, but that will.
So this is I'm showing one of your TikTok posts that has
Yeah.
a pretty good shot of your stuff here.
Yeah. That was when was that? March of this year. And yeah, that was a guy that was out there taking photos, and I didn't even know he took this photo because I'm literally in that photo. I'm literally about ready to run up to where these like 4 or 5 guys were hiding at.
Yeah.
So I didn't even know he had a camera in his hand. So when he came back to all of us after that match and was like, "Dude, check this out." I'm like, "Oh my god, that is such a great photo." Oh
Yeah.
wow. So yeah, that was I haven't ran that load out in a while. That's like my older stuff. I still have that helmet. That's my black helmet, but that camo I haven't worn in a while. But I still run that black vest. I just ran it. Yeah, that's right. Last weekend when I went
Okay.
indoor. But yeah, that one. Yeah, I haven't ran that camo in a while. But yeah,
Yeah.
I still love that photo.
Yeah, that's great, dude. Now, where's the one? Is this one showing your new stuff?
Uh, n- let's see. No, that's like I said. That green helmet's actually my first helmet.
Okay.
That black helmet's the newer one.
Yeah.
So that one, yeah, that like I said, I'm currently working on a new one. That one will be revealed either next year or sometime soon. It's just it's a process building this design.
Oh, I'm sure. Well,
Yeah.
this one's kind of interesting, man. This the face.
Yeah, that's my green helmet. Like I said, I have two different styles. I have the black with the white horns and the green with the black horns.
Yeah.
That's the green with the black is my original one. That was the first one that I started with, and then the black one with the white horns. That's my newest. Well,
Mm,
current. I mean, I use them both still. It depends on where we're playing, what mood I'm in to use.
yeah. Now, how did you find out about Shogun and how long you been on their team?
I've almost been with Shogun for about a year now.
Mm,
Um, it'll be a year next month. I've always known of Shogun in the circuit. even before I became the Viking. I've known Ryan, you know, for a while now. You know, he
Yeah.
and I used to, you know, kick it up at Code Red all the time and play, and even before all this. And then TAC League, and then I went to a TAC League event last year, which was in April,
Yeah.
and that's kind of when I unveiled the loadout. Then I met up with a few guys that were part of Shogun, went up and played at their field, and so I was like, you know, kind of getting to know these guys, and I'm like, hey, you know, kind of asked one day, I was like, hey, how hard is it to get into Shogun? And they're like, oh man, we'll hook you up, and we'll put in a good word for you if you want to clan up with us, or if you want to go through initiate process. I said, sure, yeah, let's do it. Sure enough, like a week later, I got a phone call saying, hey man, you're in. I'm like, cool.
Nice.
You know, right when I spoke to Ronan, you know, he's like, oh, they basically told me that you were interested in all that, and since I've known you for a while, that was it. They pretty much told me what I already knew. So boom, next thing you know, I was part of Shogun.
That's cool, man. Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
yeah, that history and that relationship helps because like they already knew what kind of person you were, what kind of player you were. And yeah, so that's cool.
yeah. I love these guys. These guys are so fun to run with. You know, I've had such a ball being part of Shogun.
Yeah, they're awesome, dude.
Mm-hmm.
I've
They're good dudes.
had some really interesting conversations with those guys.
Yeah, they're fun.
Yeah. The last one, no, not the last one. A couple of times ago, sometime last year, it was me and Ronan, we were effed up, bro. We were drinking the whole time. Towards the end of the podcast, it was like, I mean, I had to edit some out because we were slurring. You couldn't even, you couldn't even understand. Or at least I
Yeah,
was pretty bad.
he actually mentioned that. He goes, yeah, me and Rock went for like all night.
Hmm. It was like one of those sessions where you're you're getting messed up with your friends, you know, you're drinking and stuff, and it's really late and almost, you know, the party's done. Like most of the people have already left, and there's
Right.
like two or three or four people left, and you're just like you're in that mode where you're just talking about, you know, just random shit that
Mhm.
comes up, and it's like sometimes it gets deep, and then
Oh yeah,
that's
no,
where,
I know. Those to me are always the best parts of any night that you get to spend with people, is where you just
yep.
basically just shooting the shit out of nowhere, and you're having a great time, and next thing you know, you're like, oh man, the sun's coming up. Fuck.
Dude, that happened on the MilSims that I went to with my boys. And these are big events, you know, out here in the ones that we went to. Stonebreaker is put on by Third Coast Airsoft. And yeah, and that's what it is. It's like campfire, right? We're camping on the field, or just off, you know, outside of the playable area. But when everybody gets done at night, because they'll do like a night game for like 2 hours on the
Mhm.
first Friday night. And then after that, everyone comes back, and it's late. It's like I think it starts at like 11 or something like that. So everybody comes back, and you know they put all their gear down. They have all these stories to tell. It's super late, and the fire's still going, and it's like 3 in the morning. You know, people are still talking and cracking open another beer or whatever. Oh yeah, and then we sleep on the ground in a freaking tent, and then daylight hits and you're like, oh shit, already.
Yeah, those
Yeah.
are always the best moments. You're like, oh no, we got to play now.
I know, dude. Yeah. Yeah, you got some good pictures, man. Who's on the field with you taking pictures when you're out there like this? Just
Actually,
different
these are
random?
no, yeah, random, and actually, a lot of these are from my phone.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll hand the phone off to one of our guys, and I'm like, "Hey, catch a couple pics of me, or me and that." But most of the photos of other players or guys of Shogun, that's me. I'm taking these photos as we're playing,
Yeah.
and I'm trying to get the most out of just the exposure that we can get. So yeah, I mean, a lot of these photos are fun. Like I said, these are all in game. These are when we go and play, or just us on the sidelines or stuff like that. I'd
Right.
love to get more people to come out and do professional photos of us. I know a few photographers. It's just
Yeah.
trying to get them to come out. It's so hard.
Yeah, I'll bet. I'll bet. You know what's wild is all the different people I've talked with in the UK, they have something really special out there. Airsoft is really popular out there, you know,
Hmm.
and they're such a tight knit group and a lot of fields in short distances, you know. So they have Josh, who I've had on the podcast over a year and a half ago, probably a couple years ago. He runs Krios photography,
Hmm.
and he has his guys. He'll have one of his photographers or himself at almost every major event, and not even just the major ones, like a regular skirmish on the weekend, you know, a Saturday or a Sunday play. And and they have some amazing photos, bro. And what he
Yeah.
does is you know, they use really nice cameras. And what he does, the way he has it set up is he'll go out and his guys go out and take the pictures, and then he posts it on his website. Okay. They edit
Hmm.
them, they fix them up, they make them look badass, which is what airsofters want. Okay. That's why they got all
Yeah.
this gear, you know, and he puts them on there, and then you can go on there and like buy it. You can buy that profile pic or buy that picture or whatever, you know, that is
Ah.
perfect of you for like a couple bucks. You know what I mean? It's a
Yeah.
really, really good system.
Oh yeah.
And so anyway, yeah, it's I would love to see something like that here. And
Yeah,
when
I
I
would
talked with
too.
him, yeah, he wanted to do something like that, like bring it over here. But you know, he wants to train people, he wants, you know, show them what to do, like how to take pictures. He's been a photographer forever, so he's very good at training people and stuff like that too. But yeah, I would love to see that.
Yeah, I would too, because I've looked it up for to do professional photos and have people do professional photography of just certain things, and they want so much money.
Yeah.
It's insane. It's like someone was telling me for like 5 photos, it's almost 2 grand. I'm like, oh my
Whoa.
God. Like, whoa. I mean, they're really good photos, don't get me wrong, but I
Sure.
don't I'm not willing to put that much money down just on photos. That's insane when
I mean, you're not going to make money. You're not OnlyFans chick with that's going to make money on those photos.
exactly.
It's funny.
I'm like, wow. And it's like, yeah, I've heard people say, oh yeah, I dropped like 2,000 on like, 30 photos. And I'm like, and like 15-minute video. And I'm like, no, I'm good.
That's
I'll stick to my,
crazy.
I'll stick to my phone.
This is why I think what Josh is doing with Krios photography, I think it's such a good setup to do that.
Hmm.
Like he doesn't, and they, you know, he has the equipment, he's got the big lenses where he can stay out of the action area, you know, he's not in the way. He can take really good action photos while you're
Yeah.
playing, and you have no clue that it's happening. And then what you do is when you go, like you know, his website set up for like certain events or play areas or fields, right? Dirty Dog Airsoft or something,
Yeah.
and for whatever date. Okay. And you can go on there, like, oh yeah, I played over there. You go on there and see, and then you just buy it right off his site. So it's a very streamlined process. So you don't have to drop a shit ton of money up front. You just want one picture, go get one picture. You know, buy
Yeah.
one picture for whatever,
Yeah.
$4 or $5. I don't know. But they're really good. So
Right.
yeah. But yeah, you got some good ones. I love to see these this gear you have set up, and yeah, it looks cool, man.
Oh, thank you.
And
I
it fits
try.
perfect with Shogun too.
Yeah. They love it. And
Hmm.
everybody always loves it, when I bust the stuff out or I do something new. My teammate, Mean Man Chan, he and I always kind of go back and forth because he's got the horns.
Yep.
And he goes, I used to be the horn guy on this team. And I laugh and I was like, well, now there's 2 of us.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. I forgot about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he
He's,
was
he,
the first time I had them on, he was showing me, he was breaking out his gear, and he was
yep.
showing me that helmet. Yep.
Yeah. And that's why I was like, oh, I was like, when I first seen that helmet, I was jealous. I was like, oh, that helmet is so sick.
It is sick, bro. It really is sick.
Unfortunately, though, it died.
Oh, did it?
Yeah, it got somebody dropped it and it broke the horn off. So now it's a permanent collection. It's a prop piece now up at Code Red Airsoft. It's sitting on the wall now. He's building a new one. So as
Okay.
soon as he brings it out, it'll be there. But yeah, he misses it. He tells me I miss my horns.
I'm sure, man. Yeah, that's
There he
cool.
is. Yep.
Yep.
There's me, man, Chan, right there. That's
Uh-huh.
that. That's when we were up at the 661. What was it? The Valentine's Day event, which we ended up winning that event. So that was a great day.
Oh, that's cool. Now, your tattoos on your forearms, are they like Viking based as well?
No, actually, they're Batman based.
Oh, what?
I'm a huge Batman nerd. If you could see that one, that one's the Joker.
Oh, that's awesome, dude. Oh, yeah. Okay.
Thank
Now
you.
I can see it. Yep.
I plan on getting more Viking tattoos at some point. It's just money.
Oh, dude, tattoos are no joke anymore. Listen, my first tattoo was in 1990 in San Diego, California, uh, right after boot camp. Okay. I got shipped out there to do my schooling. Okay. Before I went
Mhm.
overseas. It's it's on my chest here. It's a tiny little, like 3 inch or 2 inch, Calvin and Hobbes. I don't know if you remember the
Oh yeah,
cartoon
oh yeah,
Calvin and
yeah,
Hobbes.
yeah.
That was my favorite cartoon when I was a teenager.
Nice, nice.
So I have Calvin, but he's holding the M16 A2, which is what I, served with. And he's got camis on and it
Right.
says USMC underneath it. It was $40. And I thought that was way expensive back then. And it's full color. It's full color. So
Wow.
I was like, God, that's expensive. Oh, all right, fine, I'll get it. That's half my paycheck, whatever. And
Right.
in the military. But yeah, that was my first tattoo. And uh yeah, when they started going way up in price, like the last, 10 years or something, I was like, bro,
They're
uh,
ridiculous now. I
that's
mean,
crazy.
luckily all the tattoos that I've gotten are from a friend of mine, and he hooks me up.
Oh,
But
nice.
just hearing, because my brother-in-law wanted to get a tattoo a couple years ago, and he hearing what the artist told him how much it was going to be for just like a couple hours, I was dumbfounded. I'm like, you got to be kidding me.
Dude.
And they charge hourly now. It's not so much as like, okay, give me $200 for this, and we're good.
Yeah.
And now it's like, oh, well, I charge 100 an hour, and you're like, what?
Hmm.
How many
Yeah,
hours
so
is
the
this
more
tattoo going to
intricate it
take?
is, the bigger it is, the more fill-ins, if you have to do multiple sessions, like, oh man, they add up, bro.
Oh hell yeah, they add up. That's why I haven't really went and got tattoos, any more tattoos. I mean, I want more tattoos. I eventually would love to get a sleeve done, but
Yeah.
yeah, that's going to be about 5 grand.
It's insane, dude. My our youngest daughter, her and her husband, they just turned 23. So, but they started getting tattoos right after high school, and they get some big ones, like
Mhm.
on their thighs, he's the same way. He wants to get, a bunch all over his arms and all that kind of stuff. And the price they tell me that they get him, I'm like, bro,
Yeah,
nope, not
yeah,
not me.
yeah.
It's not that important.
That's why I haven't gotten more lately, is because of that, because the price range. So, like I said, when my buddy's available, I hit him up. But even then after that, it's like, okay, well, I'll wait.
I'm gonna tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna print out, if I really want one, it's like a temporary one. I have no tattooing skills, don't have the tools, but I could print out something like a stencil and cut it
Mhm.
out, right, with an X-Acto knife, tape it on my arm and spray paint that bitch. It'll last for a week, okay? I don't know. For
I mean,
Halloween, I
shit.
don't know.
Yeah, right. There you go. I mean, it'll work.
Oh yeah. But so this one on your other forearm, what is this one?
That one's Batman.
Okay, awesome.
It's kind of covered. Yeah, it's kind of covered up. So
It's
yeah,
kind of
it's
covered. Do you have any on
yeah.
here that's pictures of them?
Uh, I don't. Most of those pictures are all during the winter months.
Oh yeah, it's covered up.
Yeah, they're all covered up.
Oh, there's a Storm.
Yep, yep.
Poet. Storm the
Yeah,
poet.
poet. Yeah,
Yeah.
there met him for a while. Yeah.
I wonder how he's doing. I had him on the podcast a couple years ago.
From what I understand, he's not in California anymore. I think that he's back east somewhere.
Oh, okay.
Last time I heard, he's trying to promote clothing. I think he got out of the airsoft game.
Oh, okay. Oh, you got Airsoft GI. Is that
Yep,
Mayo?
that is no, that's Cisco, I believe. Is
Or
it
Cisco,
Cisco?
yeah. What did I
Yeah,
say,
that's
man?
Cisco. Yeah,
Yeah,
that
that's
was at
Cisco.
yeah, that was at the BB Wars event when
Okay.
they try to revamp that one, bring it back when it was the Tim versus Bob days. And yeah, see, that's how old I am. Is the old GI Tim versus Bob events. And I went to all three. Well, the last one.
Yeah.
We were like, oh wow, there was more than one. I go, there was three. They were some of the biggest events of airsoft back in the day.
Really? What
Yeah,
was
yeah,
that?
that was.
That was put on
It was
by Airsoft GI?
yeah, that was the GI. That was Tim and Bob, and Tim went to Chris. He works for Chris back there now, and Bob, he just went into the sunset. We don't know what happened to that guy.
Yeah.
Those were fun events. I mean, those were like 2,000 players. They were it was huge. It was so much fun.
What?
Yeah, it was so many people at these events. It was insane.
Where would they have it
But
at?
oh, I think the third one was in an abandoned like water park, if I remember
Yeah.
right. Yeah, and
Okay.
that was the last one I ever went to. I didn't go to the first two, but I did make the third one.
Yeah.
So when GI brought back this one for SC, I'm like, okay, I owe it to me and my buddy that we go, or that I go, and do it one more time. Fun
Oh, that's
event,
cool.
fun event, but it was so hot that day too. It was a scorcher.
Yeah, that's the unfortunate thing. Sometimes weather really
Yeah.
like
Speaking of
just
which, tomorrow we were supposed to do TAC League at
mm,
SC Village, and they had to reschedule it because of the heat.
really.
Yeah, we were all going tomorrow. We were all set to go, and they rescheduled it Thursday. Said, yeah, unfortunately, guys, we can't do it. It's too hot because it's supposed to be 115
Whoa.
this whole weekend. Yeah, for California, that's a lot.
And it's September.
Yeah,
What the
yeah,
hell?
yeah. It's like this last hurrah of summer, the heat. Yeah, so it's got rescheduled to next Sunday on the 15th, so that way we can. So the weather will cool down. They're saying it's gonna be about 85 degrees next weekend. So that's why they're just
Okay.
pushing it back then. So we're
That's
like,
crazy, bro.
okay, cool. But a lot of people were upset because they took time off of work and
Yep.
to do this event. So a lot of people are not going to be going as much as they were, but it is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, you're not gonna have fun going out there in that kind of weather. Like
No,
it's way too hot.
no. And like I said, there was going to be a lot of people probably getting heat stroke, probably a lot of people,
Yeah.
falling down and I mean, I was upset because it was like, I really wanted to go do this event, but after a day, I thought about it. I'm like, yeah, you know what? Because we were discussing it amongst the team, and it's like, it sucks, but their hands are tied. I'm sure they don't want people dropping in the middle of a game due to heat stroke or heat exhaustion.
No.
And then they get a bad rep because they allowed it and all this other stuff. So yeah, I could see why they did it.
Well, people
And
wouldn't have fun either. Like they're not gonna you're gonna play for 15, 20 minutes at a time. Like
hmm
you could really go gung ho for like 15 minutes in that kind of with all your gear on.
yep,
If you're used to playing, you're used to being that kind of stuff, you could go for like 15 minutes hardcore. And
then
then
then you're
you're
done. You're
gassing
gassed.
out, bro. Like
Yep,
it
you're
is
gassed.
the heat will win. Like it's
hmm
freaking that's insanely hot.
Oh yeah.
Especially when you're in the direct sunlight and it's heating up all your gear and your clothing. Yeah, it's very miserable.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you're really gonna go about 15 minutes, and then you're
Yep.
like, okay, I'm done, and then you're
That's
not
it.
gonna play anymore. And
Yeah,
yeah,
it's
and the
not gonna be
game,
fun.
yeah, and then the game start at peak hours, which is that's right when it's gonna get to about 100 degrees, and
Exactly.
it's just gonna get worse as it goes.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's good on them for rescheduling. I mean, you got to in that kind of thing.
Yeah,
So
I mean, and we are all still going. I think we're out of like a squad, we got like 15 going, so we're
yeah,
we're we're good. We're gonna have a ball, so we're looking forward to next weekend.
good. What happened here, man?
Oh, that was before that was when I had a kidney stone, unfortunately,
Oof.
a week
Painful.
before a week before an event. So I was like, yeah, that sucked.
Oh man.
Yeah, that sucked. Yeah, that was
Uh-huh.
the uh remember that night.
Yeah, we don't usually forget pain too easily. Like that's why it's such a good teacher because it just lodges in your brain forever. Okay. It like burns it into your brain. Like never want that again, you know?
Yeah, yeah, and I've gone through three of them in my
Oh,
in my life so far. So yeah, they're not fun. They're hereditary in my family, or at least on my dad's side. So yeah, it's fun.
I was
and they do.
uh I was thinking I was going to get them. My dad had a bunch of them.
Hmm.
Like all it was like common for him. And I thought, oh man, when I get older, I'm gonna have them. And I've never had any. I've been really fortunate that way. But I got
You're
other
lucky.
things, I got other medical issues, like some weird stuff, whatever that's like rare. I don't know. But uh the the kidney stones I dodged. Okay.
You dodged a good one. Those are fun. It was funny because when I had my first one when I was like 20,
Yeah.
when I was in the hospital, the nurse, she came in after I was drugged up. She came in and she goes, what you're experiencing is a fraction of what a female goes through in pregnancy. I'm like, thanks. So I wow, thank you. Now I
uh,
know. It's
oh,
like a
that's
fraction.
funny. Yeah, right.
Yeah. I'm
That's
like,
funny.
I'm like, okay, cool, thanks. And then yeah,
uh yeah, these are cool, man. So
thank
what
you.
do you got? You're on Shogun. You've been on there for about a year. You've been playing for a long time. Got your gear set up. What do you run? What's your main you run? Like I see these
Well,
is
that
are
right
you still
now,
running this?
yeah, that's my Arcturus M4 sword. That thing,
Okay.
I actually won that at a tack league. I got it for free at an event, and
Whoa.
once I got the kinks worked out of it, that thing just it's been my number one for the past year.
Dude, that's awesome.
Yeah, like I said, that gun is a free gun, and it smacks. It's got distance on it. It's got a great little trigger system on it. It's snappy, and it's an AEG too, so it's perfect. I love this thing.
Yeah.
Shoots about 398 FPS.
Okay.
So the thing it touches people. I love
Yeah,
that
that's
gun.
perfect.
Gonna
Yeah,
have to do some
that's
maintenance on it though at some point because I noticed this last time I took it out, the trigger was starting to wiggle. So
mm,
I'm like, it's getting old. It might be the spring in it. It might be getting a little
yep.
wonky. So I might have to
Hmm.
do some maintenance on it. But other than that, that gun is I love that gun.
We got one Arcturus that I can remember out of the mystery boxes. So our channel, we used to do our YouTube channel we've had for 5 years. I've only been doing the podcast for like 3 years or so. But the
Mhm.
first couple of years of the channel, we did unboxings and reviews and stuff. And I think we only got one Arcturus. It was a AK,
Yeah.
and the thing was awesome. I mean, it
Oh yeah.
looked awesome. I just loved the style and how they made it. It's full metal, heavy gun. It felt good in your hand, and I
Hmm.
like the AK platform, like just how it feels, the
Yeah.
grip and everything. So yeah, it was really cool.
Oh, they're great guns. Like I'm actually wanting to buy one of their AKs at one point, but it hasn't been in the cards of yet. I want to get one,
Yeah.
because but they are good guns. I've had the pleasure of playing with their CEO at one point.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. He's played at a field and we didn't even know who he was until someone said something. It's like, oh shit, okay, cool. I
Are
like
they
it.
are
Hey,
they
I love
based
his
in
stuff.
California? I wonder if they're
I'm
based
not
in.
too sure where they're actually based out
Yeah,
of, but
I'll have
I
to
think
look.
they are. I'm not too sure, but I think they are. I mean, they're at every event. They were at Airsoft Nations, the last one we went to. They were
Okay.
there, and I thought I was talking to their reps for a while.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll have to look and see where they're at.
But they got some good stuff.
Yeah, they
I'm
do,
I'm
man.
happy with it. I actually just picked up I just picked up a new toy about a month ago. I picked up a SEMA M4.
Yeah.
I want to turn it into a Commando M4, so that's my new project.
Okay. Dude, we had so many M4s when we first started doing the unboxings. We had so many. It was we did the EVIC BOAs, right? The box of awesomeness.
Right.
And there was four of us on the channel, so we were each getting our own box, and each box has two guns in it. So in the time we started our channel, we started, let's see, the first video came out April of 2019. Okay. And so we did, so what I'm trying to think, what is the BOA that comes out in March? Is it the Player's Choice Award or something like that?
I think so, yeah.
So
If
we
I'm not
got that.
mistaken.
That was our first one. Okay. That goes into April. Then is it the April Fool's one or something like? There's something in April that they have.
I think so. I have to look it up, but yeah, I think though.
And then May is May the 4th. Okay, May the
Hmm.
4th be with you. Then I think there's another one in May. Is it Labor Day or Memorial Day? Then they do the
Yeah.
Memorial Day. So we, by the way, we got all of once we started on the in March, that first one, we got all of them. They came out over the next 3 months. So you have the Labor Day one, then the going into June, you had June 6th, right? The World War II
Hmm.
thing. Then you had Father's Day, and then you had they might have done a Mother's Day one in May. I can't remember, but there was like 7 or 8 BOAs we got within 2 months, 2.5 months. And there's 4 of us on the channel, and we all got them. So, bro, we had talk about we were like, oh, another M4. Okay, set it aside. Another M4, another M4. It is really like we loved it so much. It's like doing the scratch offs or something, man. You get like, yep, okay, yep, no, didn't win that, didn't win that. And then you open this box, and I got one of the first one of those BOAs we got. I opened I got a specialty gun. It was a P90. Oh dang, who it was a pretty good brand. I can't remember,
Was it a
but
Crytek P90?
no, it was because that would have been the real badass one. Man, I'd have to look on my channel, to be honest. But it was a specialty one because it had the swordfish uh
Oh,
attachment thing on it, whatever. And
yeah,
where
yeah. I've
it would
seen those.
take M4 mags, and
Yeah,
then or maybe that was the front. The front had that grill on it that was like the checkered,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
spiky.
yeah.
I
Yeah, I
mean, it
remember
looked
it now.
really aggressive. And yeah, it was badass looking. So we got that. That was awesome. But yeah, we had some really cool guns. We really miss doing those because they're fun. It's like Christmas, man, but it
It
gets
is. Yeah, you don't know
expensive.
what you're getting. Yeah. Shoot,
It
a
adds
friend.
up.
Yeah, my teammate. He got one, and he got a whole bunch of new toys. He got a. What did he get? Oh yeah, that's right. He got a Crytek PDW, which is
Mm.
the smaller version. He got that. He got a WeTech racing pistol, which was really nice, and he got a Mac 11, KWA Mac 11. I'm
Oh,
like, out of that one box, he's like, yep. I'm like, dude, that thing was sick.
that's awesome.
I'm like, you lucky duck, man. I wanted that.
Yeah, those are cool, man. We got one of the boxes we got a Demolition Ranch
Oof.
version. And then one of the Airsoft GI mystery boxes, we were doing both. We were doing the BOAs and then the Airsoft GI ones. The Airsoft GI one, we got a an RPG-7, full
Oof.
wood furniture on it. Like it was badass, bro. It was so pretty. It was so pretty. Yeah.
Yeah, my teammate he picked up one of those too, and I think he got it. I think he got it on a trade though. But yeah, no, he loves it. He HPA'd it, so that thing's a beast now.
Yeah. Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, that thing's a beast, and he loves using it.
Speaking of like grenades and stuff like that, have you heard of Cherub MilSim?
Mm,
Cherub is so if you look at TCA, like on Facebook, they have a group on
mhm,
there. TCA, Third Coast Airsoft. There's what's it called? After Action Review or something like that. TCA After Action Review. So
mhm.
Jax, speaking of tattoos earlier, Jax is a tattoo artist. I've had him on
Oh,
here a couple of times, and he's in North Carolina, and he has a tattoo shop up there. But he has been doing MilSims for 20 years, right?
mm,
And he's known Sal over it. He's known the guys at Third Coast Airsoft for a long, long time, and is real good with them. And but they've been looking for when. Do you remember when the past 6 months? I can't remember when it started. I guess it was when Russian war started, whatever. The tag-ins were like impossible to get.
oh,
Okay.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I remember this. Yeah, I remember hearing
So
about this.
it first started with, okay, we couldn't get them because you couldn't get anything from Russia, and
Right.
Tag In company is in Russia. So then it was the ATF ban, right?
Yeah.
A few months ago.
Yep.
So that put a halt on that kind of stuff. So everyone's looking for better, options here. Like what do we use for pyro? So so Jax came up with a really cool alternative that they're starting to roll out already and take
Mhm.
off. But if you look up Cherub MilSim, this is the first pyro that y'all can use in California that you have not been able to use forever because of fire
Yeah.
hazard.
Yep.
What's the real thing, by the way? And this is nothing new. I was stationed in Camp Pendleton, California, Southern California in 1991. And we had the same problem then. Like, no shit. It was,
Yeah.
and I worked on a shooting range. So machine gun range, they had, they had a fire truck, a tanker truck sitting out across, on
Just in case if
parallel to
something
the,
blew up. Yeah.
oh, it would definitely light it up because every fifth round in a chain gun, right? The chain fed
Mhm.
weapon, every fifth round in a machine gun thing is incendiary. So
Right.
it's a tracer, so you can see where you're shooting and kind of, adjust. Well, these things are hot. I mean, it's literally on fire, right?
Right.
So uh yeah, it was all the time. So it's definitely nothing new. Um, but yeah, they can't take a chance. All the fires that have been out there for the last 8 years or so, bro, they
Yeah.
look crazy.
Yeah, it's been bad out here. I mean, this year has been a little low, but it's still early.
Yeah.
But yeah, there were at one point it felt like the entire like where we're located. I'm located in Southern California, and I'm about 30, 40 minutes from the beach, so
Okay.
it's not too far depending on traffic. But at
Mhm.
one point, we felt like there was a fire in San Diego, there was a fire in our mountain range, there was a fire in San Francisco, there was a fire in Napa, then there was a fire in Arizona, and then Nevada. It felt like we were surrounded by fires at one point.
Dude,
It was insane.
just smoke and ash
Oh yeah.
everywhere all the time.
You would come out to the car in the morning and the sky was like reddish brown, and you could see ash all over the car. And it looked like snow, and you're like, nope, that's ash.
That's
And then
crazy,
just
man.
the air quality was horrible. People were walking around with respirators. I mean, before COVID, wearing the face mask, but everyone wearing respirators because you couldn't breathe the air. It was insane.
Yeah,
So
that's crazy.
yeah, luckily this year it's been a little quiet, but again, it's still early. We're
Hmm.
still in fire season for about another 2 months, I think. So yeah, so there is some
Yeah.
fires. There was a fire in Riverside not too long ago, and there was one up in, like I said, near Mount Baldy in the Sierra Nevada range, and that one was put out pretty quick. But
Yeah.
they get crazy.
Dude, I used to party in Riverside. Me and my buddies used to go out there. We met some people at a bar, guy and a couple girls, and they invited us out to their place out in Riverside. We went out there
Mhm.
and then we ended up just going out there anytime they'd have a party, So we were like, oh, we're going to Riverside again. Yeah, I've been out there a lot of times. Oh yeah. I don't
Yeah,
remember going out there because I was drunk as hell, but you know. But yeah, you guys will have uh some good pyro options with this Cherub MilSim grenades
yeah,
he's coming up with. Yeah.
yeah. We've been hearing about it. It just depends on what fields want to use it. That will allow it, I should say, because some
Yeah.
fields get really touchy about the pyro thing.
Oh yeah.
For a while there, we were allowed to use smoke, and now I don't think we can use smoke anymore, at least until fire season's over.
Hmm.
So that sucks, because I always like when people throw smoke, because it adds just a little touch of funness to it when you got a whole cloud of smoke and you're running through.
Yeah, dude, it's awesome. Like it really adds to the immersiveness.
Hmm.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I just had him on a month and a half ago. He went through the whole thing talking about it and how they're going to be marketing to you guys out there in Cali and showing. Yeah, so he's going to be in touch with a lot of the coordinators, the event coordinators and the fields and stuff like that run the
Yeah.
outdoor. Yeah, so hopefully in the next 6 to 8 months, you guys will be
Cool.
getting your hands on some of that stuff.
Yeah, well, we'll be looking forward to it. So yeah, that's
Yeah,
gonna be
right.
fun.
That's cool. Yeah, so you got so what other gear do you run? What do you run your pistol? You said you have I
Oh,
got
I have a
this.
Glock. I have a Elite Force Glock 17.
Gotcha.
That's like been my favorite. I ran an 18C. That was the full auto version for a long time, and then it finally died on me. So I switched back to the 17,
Yeah.
and it's just been I love that gun to death. I think it's so fucking fun.
Yeah.
That's my little CQB go to whenever I get to a port. I just whip it out and then start going for it. So it's
Hmm.
so much fun, and it's accurate as hell. People are like, "You got me with that." I went, "Yep." Like for instance, a couple months back, we were playing at Code Red, and we were in the District 9, and that's our CQB field. And we were in there, and there was a choke point right on this one side, and I was sitting in the corner. I was waiting for them to come out, and like three dudes, bam, 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 got them, and then I got three more, and I'm sitting there, and you can hear these guys yelling in the background because they're getting pissed, and they're like, "What has he got?" And the ref sitting there, like, "He's just using a pistol." And I'm sitting there laughing, and I'm like, "I'm getting this dude," and then getting these guys like crazy, and then one guy popped through, he stuck his head, boom, got it right in the face mask, and he's just rage quitting like crazy. It was so much fun. I was laughing. I was laughing so hard. I'm like, "Oh my god!" I'm pitting. They're like, "Dude," I'm looking at the ref, and he goes, "You're pissing them off so bad." I'm like, "I'm just using a pistol."
Yeah,
So
that's
that
funny.
that was funny. That was one of those moments. And my buddy Maui, my team, he's our teammate Maui. He was saying, "Dude, this is why you need cameras. You need a camera on your helmet so we can see these things." And I'm like, "Yeah, eventually."
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
Once you get
that
into the camera thing, man, bro, have fun because
yeah.
it is fun. It is fun, but it's way more work than I think most people realize.
Yeah, it's interesting, and I have a
Alrighty.
theory about cameras. I swear, the minute you put a camera on your helmet, dude, that's your target all day. Everybody
Oh
starts
yeah.
aiming for your head in that part when you got a camera on.
Uh-huh.
I laugh because all my guys they'll come up and go, "Hey, is my camera shot out? Is my camera shot out?" Like, no, you're fine.
You know what's funny is it's such a common thing that those GoPros like that where they get shot out because a lot of guys when they're running them they don't want to wear the big thick case
Yeah,
because it muffles the sound and it messes up the sound and stuff like that. So the newer GoPros, uh, the lens cover pops off. Like you turn it
yeah,
90
yeah,
degrees to the left or
yeah,
the right, I think, and it pulls right off. You can buy a pack of 3 of them on Amazon or something like that, replacements.
yeah. I've seen a few of
I
them.
don't know, $20 or something, like really cheap.
Yeah, yeah. They're
So
not very expensive.
yeah, it's great. It's a really good feature because that happens all the time. I don't know what it is about BBs find either your camera lens or any skin that is exposed.
Oh yeah.
Like
Oh,
you're covered in gear 99.9% of your body.
and it goes. It doesn't hit the gear. It hits here. It always. I'm telling you. I was talking about this the other night when we were at Battle Lab. That's our indoor field.
Yeah.
And literally, when I got home, I'm looking at the next morning. I'm looking at every shot was under the padding everywhere, and I'm like, "There's no fucking way people are aiming for that." I mean,
No.
it's chance, I guess, but yeah, no, it is. The BBs find the fleshy bits, and
Mhm.
they shoot out optics all the time. A friend of mine just bought a brand new holographic scope. Boom, shot out the first day. Got it. He was like, "Well, that's done."
Oh shit.
And it's always that scope. It's always that optic. Always gets shot out. I had
Yeah.
one. I got shot out, and I'm like, "Why these things always get shot out? It's insane." The
Dude.
flashlights, for some odd reason, don't get shot out as much,
Yeah, isn't
which
that
is
weird?
weird.
I
Yeah.
think I think a lot of flashlights are impact rated. I wonder if that's interesting. I'll have to look that up and see if anyone in Airsoft has done an impact test or shooting test on the flashlights, like the Sure lights and stuff you put on your
Hmm.
guns. We've never thought to do one. We did tests on when we were doing those reviews and stuff. We did tests on like mesh goggles, right? Which a lot of people have
Yeah.
done. Regular goggles, right? The the real big ones that look like the ski goggles, whatever.
Yeah.
Just regular safety glasses, that kind of stuff.
Shit, those
And
don't.
yeah, right.
They actually got. It was funny because Evic was putting out a brand of them at one point, and they got banned at our field Code Red because they were just not working. People were getting shot out in the eyes and all that. To get right through. So they finally said, "No, they're banned here." And then eventually, Evic, I think, finally took them off their website. Like they
Uh,
don't sell them anymore.
yeah,
But yeah, that was a thing. I remember seeing people coming off the field, and all of a sudden their goggles are smashed, and sure enough, they're shot right here, and you're like, "Ooh,
damn. That's
can't
a
mess with
scary
that."
thing, man. That's a
Oh hell
scary
yeah,
thing because you can heal like all the other places you get shot. You get shot in the hands, your knuckles. You're like, man, it's gonna hurt like hell. It's gonna be sore and bruised.
Mhm.
Maybe you won't be able to bend your finger for, without pain for like a month, right? Especially if it like
Yeah,
bruises the bone. But your eyeball, dude, are you kidding me? No,
yeah, that ain't healing. That ain't healing.
and it's like your vision. Like we 99% of our senses is based on vision. Like I'd rather lose my hearing than my vision. I'd rather lose my touch. Like if my fingers went numb, I couldn't feel
Yeah,
anything, I would rather lose that than my sight.
yeah,
Like,
yeah, and that's why it gets scary sometimes. That's my brother-in-law. That happened to him not too long ago. For some odd reason, he was using my backup pair of goggles, and for I don't know how it happened, but this lower mesh pushed up the goggle just enough, and sure enough, shot, boom, right here in the eye. And I'm like, how did that fucking happen? And he goes, I don't know. And I'm like, well, if the goggles didn't break. And I'm looking at his stuff, and I'm like, what, and I'm like, and I seen what happened is like, yeah, the mesh that he was using was pushing the goggles up, and somehow that BB just made it right in there.
hmm.
So I'm like, okay, we got to get you a different mesh now, because that ain't that we got to get you a different lower, because that ain't gonna work. Now that the eyes are always the main thing. I always make sure I have a flush seal against somewhere. I mean, there's a little gap, tiny right here, but again, they're still flushed against my eyes.
Yeah, that's where you want it, around the bottom parts where it meets
Hmm.
your cheek, your upper cheekbone. That's and up to the side, like on this where your end of your eyebrow is. Though that area, because of how your face is angled, if a BB hits you in, straight on or on an angle on your cheekbone, it's going to ricochet right up, straight towards your eye. That's where it
Hmm.
goes. You definitely want a full seal on that. I know Third Coast Airsoft, they do 100% full seal, no exceptions, no questions. That's it. And a strap. Okay, it has to be strapped. So you can't have regular like blocks with just the, go over your ears like sunglasses or whatever. Uh,
Oh, okay.
yeah, you have to have a safety strap that holds it tight to your face.
Hmm. Okay.
Um,
We certain fields they allow the sunglass ones. I
yeah.
have a pair of them. They seal to your cheek, and they have the strap that goes around.
Oh, there you go. You're good
Yeah,
then.
so they do work. But I don't know. I mean, I have a pair and I use them once in a while, but I still like and if you look at all my pictures, I love those. Those are the revision goggles.
Mm.
Those things work so damn well. And what's crazy is I had those goggles for an entire year, and when we went to Airsoft Nation, I noticed there was a crack right there in the front. And I'm like, oh, when the hell did that happen? Oh yeah. So I was scared that day that something was gonna break, but it was on the inside, not the outside of the goggles. So I'm like, okay, as long as someone shoots that spot today, we'll be fine. So,
Yeah,
but I switched out the lens like the next week. I bought a replacement lens, and I'm like, okay, we're fixing that.
that's a
No,
really good thing about a lot of these better kind of goggles, safety goggles and stuff for airsoft. You can swap out the lenses pretty easily.
mhm. Yeah, those ones are
And
real
yeah,
easy, just
it's
and
great.
done. It's there it goes, pops right back in.
Hmm. Yeah, the ones I have, honestly, God, I haven't worn them in so long. I don't remember the brand of them. My sons gave them to me. I didn't actually look them. I didn't. None of my gear that I went to the MilSim with is mine. It's all theirs, and they're like, and I only went for as a press, as press pass.
Mhm.
So I'm taking pictures, videos, and stuff. But they just gave me a plate carrier. They gave me well, at first it was a chest rig. I was like, okay, I can work with this. I put the GoPro batteries I was using in one pouch. I put, some stuff like that. And I was like, oh shit, I need those events when you're press, you have to have a real big sign on your front and your back that says press.
Yeah,
And sometimes you have to have like a different colored helmet or headgear or something. So I was like, shit, there's nowhere to put, a chest rig is just the straps. So it's like what I had in the military, like we used a H harness. We never had, when I was in '89, we just had it was like the H harness and war belt. So you had your
yeah,
combat belt and then your straps, right? Your shoulder straps that go over. They called it H harness. And so we didn't have plate carriers. And so I was like, oh, I think I'm going to need a plate carrier so I can put something big on the front that says press, something on the back. And I did.
Yeah.
And they had an extra one. They gave it to me, and that's what I used. But yeah, all that gear's theirs. But the glasses they gave me, they came in a pack of 2. They were pretty cheap. I think they were the ones that I know, right? Scary. I was like, hey, no, are these the ones that we tested in the review? They were like, yeah. I was like, oh, okay, they're cool. Because we shot that thing. One of those pairs we did, my son had a sniper that was shooting like 510, okay,
Oof.
with .2s, you know, but still that's fast. And we
Yeah.
were shooting from like 20 feet, okay.
Right.
And it took, we did full auto, we did, you know, with different guns and stuff at like normal FPS range, like an M4 or whatever, and all about 10 to 20 feet. And these things held up like all day. You know, it was
Well,
great.
that's
It
good.
took, yeah, it took hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of rounds. And then finally, the way we cracked it was he went point blank with his sniper. And this is after we had already shot that one lens or that one side,
Right.
because we were stress testing it. And so I was like, well, see if you can break it. Go up. So he went up like right on it. And then it finally cracked.
Yeah.
And
Damn.
so,
Well,
yeah,
at
it was
least
pretty good.
that's good.
I was like, okay, I trust these. I was pretty amazed because, you know, for being cheap, they're like, oh yeah, we got these, you know, they're cheap. I was like, these are my eyeballs. Okay. I don't know I don't know about cheap eye pro, but
Yeah.
yeah, it worked out fine. It worked out fine.
Well, that's what makes me nervous whenever you see somebody that's getting into airsoft for the first time and they're like, "Oh, I bought these at like Harbor Freight or something." And you're like, "No, no, stop. You give me those. You're not going out there." Like, "What? They're goggles? They're not, are they NZA approved?" Well, I don't know. No, give me those. You're done. You're here. You use
No.
these. Here, put these on. You know, because I've seen that happen. I've seen guys show up with like goggles they bought or safety, safety glasses they bought at a hardware
Yeah.
store. And I go, that's no, that's different. He goes, well, they're approved for that. And I go, they're not. Okay, you're not. Okay, if a spark gets in your, up there, you're fine. But you're going to be popping out of cover and you're going to get shot at. And more than time, the first thing that pops out when you come out of cover is your head.
Yep.
If you're trying to look around a corner and you're trying to see things, yeah, that's the first thing that's coming is they see is your eye.
Yep.
So yeah, no, you're gonna go buy good stuff,
Exactly. Yeah.
and don't be cheap, especially when it comes to the safety part. I mean, yeah, you don't have to buy an $80 vest. You don't have to buy
Yep.
a $200 vest or gloves or anything. But when it comes to goggles, spend the money. That's
Exactly.
the one thing I always tell people: if you're going to spend money on something expensive, make sure it's the iPro.
There you go. Great
Yeah.
advice. It really is good advice. Yeah, and you always have options for a lot of these guys get worried about, you know, fogging. And let me just say, in the how 30 years I've been wearing like safety goggles, okay?
Mhm.
From the military to shooting ranges to working in a factory, working around welding, working around sparks, working around debris flying, you know, all that kind of stuff. I don't care how many times the package says anti-fog. The shit is going to fog up, bro. Okay.
Yep.
They're lying to you. They're
Yeah.
lying to you.
Yeah, they are. Fuck that. I have that same problem. I my when I use like I said when I was running the mesh mask and I had mesh things, it was fine. I never had the problem. But the problem was with the mesh stuff, you can't look down sights.
Mm-mm.
You're kind of keeping your thing there where you can't see. So I'm like, okay, I got to switch to goggles. And then sure enough, fog like crazy. And I used all the anti-fog things that they got out there, the wipes and all this and blah blah
Yeah.
blah. None of it works. But friend of mine told me this. He goes, "Why don't you use divers anti-fog?" I'm like, "For like scuba diver masks?" He
Mm-hmm.
goes, "Yeah, they sell them at like Big Five for like $5, and it's a little container this big. It's a gel." So I'm like, "Okay," so I bought it. You take it, you squirt it into the mask, you rub it in real good with the finger, and you wash it out with water. No problems fogging ever
Oh,
since.
that's awesome.
It works so well, and it's just divers anti-fog gel.
Yeah.
And it works. I mean, I've been in some really, I mean, I think over the years since I've been using it, I've only had fog up once, and that's probably because I didn't put enough in it. So sure
Hmm.
enough, went back in and put more in and rubbed it and did it, and it fine, works great.
Dude, pro tip, people. Okay. If you
Yeah,
don't want to wear
divers.
the X Fog, you know, the X Fog works awesome.
Yeah, it
Um,
does.
yep. But it's an extra piece of gear you got to buy. It's an extra piece of something you have to run on your helmet. and or your hat or whatever, you know, you're going to wear. You got to figure out some kind of logistic way to get it in there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but
Because that's one of the scariest things I see, and I see this happen all the time, where people are out on the field. Even veterans will do it. They'll go in, they'll go into a corner, and they'll take their mask off, and it's like, you know, don't do that. I mean, once in a while, if you're in an area where there's no gunfire, there's no anything going, okay, sure. But I've seen newer players do that. They're out in the middle
mm-hmm.
of the field and they pull the goggles off, and you're like, stop. You know,
Yep.
I always get on kids when I see that. Like, don't do that.
Yeah.
Keep your mask on, dude. Whoa, why? It's fogging up. Then walk off the field.
Yep.
Don't do it while you're out here. If it's fogging that bad, let the staff know, and they'll give you anti-fog, or they'll give you a
Sit,
different
yeah,
mask.
stand or sit behind cover and wait till, you know, try to where you can see a little bit, where you can walk
Mm-hmm.
or whatever, and then yeah, just yeah, you're gonna have to do something. But that, so the diver stuff, when I went to Okinawa, I went to a diving class. I wanted to get certified, scuba
Mm-hmm.
certified. So it never happened. I went to one class. I was really interested, but I got
Yeah.
pulled in different directions with all my buddies partying. So we ended up just getting drunk the whole year. And I didn't do the class. Okay. But the first class I went to, they talked, you know, and I see it on videos and movies and, you know, stuff like that with National Geographic, when you see all these scuba divers and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
before they put their mask on, they spit in it and they rub it around on the
Yeah.
inside. And that's what we had to do in the class. And he's like, hey, this keeps it from fogging. So whatever they figured out with this diver's gel is probably whatever kind of chemical makeup is our saliva is made of,
Yeah.
because for whatever reason that works.
It
But
does. It's weird. I mean, I've
yep.
tried it in airsoft once or twice, and somebody told me that once, like, spit in your mask and see what it does. And I'm like, okay, I don't really want to spit in my mask all the time, but sure. So yeah, I tried it. It worked for a while
Mm,
until it starts to dry up. But
yep.
that's the one thing with the good about the gel that I've noticed is it doesn't dry up.
Yeah.
I put it on once, and it's good for like 3 or 4 games.
That's
You know, and
awesome.
that's 3 or 4 game days, actually going out week after week. I didn't put it on for almost 3 weeks, and I was like,
That's
okay, this
amazing.
works great. And yeah, it's definitely worth the money. So I suggest that to
100%.
anybody out there. Go if you ever probably if the normal anti-fog stuff doesn't work, like the wipes or the sprays or any of that doesn't work for you, try the diver's gel.
Hmm.
That actually worked really well for me, and I'm glad that he gave me that tip, because it helps
Yeah.
so bad. Because you know, especially with me when I'm wearing all this gear and the fur and all that, yeah, it heats. So yeah, it works
Yeah.
great.
Especially in Cali, man, where it's freaking apparently 115 degrees in friggin' September. Like, what the hell?
Yeah, right. I mean, we're suffering out there. It's crazy.
It is wild.
Even right now, it's 9:06 and it's still hot. It's about 90 degrees outside.
Yeah.
That's
Now,
crazy.
did you grow up in Cali? Are you originally from there?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm born and bred here.
Yeah. Nice. Were you, do you have siblings?
Yeah, I have a sister. Yeah, I
Okay.
have one sibling. I have a sister. Yeah.
Does she know you're into airsoft?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. The whole family knows I'm in airsoft. Everyone's great. Like, oh, like my mom actually, she told me the other. She goes, I've been noticing you've been going out more and more. And I'm like, well, I am part of a team now.
Yeah. Right.
You know, kind of a little bit more known now as an airsofter. So yeah, and that's the crazy thing is, like, I would when I donned this outfit and I did this loadout, I never thought I was going to get popular. Never thought I was going to get crazy. You know, I got people. It's insane. I get people from like different parts of the country and the world. I got people in Brazil hitting me up. People in Poland. You know,
Hmm.
like Dog Eris. He's out there in Poland. He's hit me up a few times, and I'm like, cool. You know, they're like, oh, we love your kit. We love your stuff. You know, we love it. Keep doing it. I'm like, cool. And then like, yeah, you know, with meeting the Fro Airsoft, he's in Japan, and that was insane. You know, he hit me up, and it was like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
So again, I never thought it was going to get this big. You know, just
No.
me being creative. You know, going out there and just all of a sudden now people are wanting to know what I do, and you know, like, dude, we love your loadout, we love your stuff. It's so cool. It's so creative. And I actually had somebody from Chicago recently, Mr. T Rex Airsoft, big guy. He told me that I inspired his loadout, and I was like, cool.
Oh, that's
He goes,
awesome,
dude,
dude.
he goes, this guy right here is the reason why I put horns and the way I looked and the fur and all that. I was like, that's why I look at him. I'm like, Thanks, dude. I
That's cool.
appreciate it.
Yeah, it's a
I really
compliment.
appreciate that. Yeah, it's nice to hear, just something that I was like, okay, I'm going to do something different.
Yeah.
I'm going to put horns on my helmet and see what happens. And then, yeah, and here we are now.
I know,
Insane.
man. It is cool. I like to see that. Yeah, it brings people. I mean, when somebody's passionate about something, you're always going to get. You're always going to when you're passionate about something, you're always going to get haters, and you're always going to get those few the
Yeah.
haters, but you're going to get a big following from people that love what you're doing. And like some people, it's not their thing. Like, okay, whatever. Like that's, more options are good for us, right? It's like, oh, I like this. I don't like that. I like that. I don't like that, and so you get those people that are like, dude, this is really cool, man. I love what you're doing. And they see you're passionate about it because all the different pictures you post on Instagram, uh, you're always in that gear. It looks cool as hell. You're showing it off when you're out
Yeah.
here and it looks badass. So
Thank
yeah,
thank you. Appreciate it.
yeah, dude.
Like I said, I always love when I hear when someone say that. It's like, oh, thanks, dude. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool. Again, the recognition is really nice, and it's crazy. It's been a crazy journey since I first donned it, and the connections and the people I've met over the years, well, the year and a half now. So
Yeah.
it's crazy, and just I'm excited to see what's next, what's going to come next, and all this other stuff.
Well, that was my next question is with your gear and your getup with the horns and stuff. You said earlier you were working on a new one.
Yeah.
Is it gonna change very much? Like what kind of cool stuff you looking to do?
Well, it's not going to change too much. Again, I've had this conversation with my teammate, Mr. Chan, about doing different horns and stuff like that. I had an idea of maybe doing like deer horns or something like the deer antlers coming off, but I'm thinking it might just be too long though, and have it all the way out to here because I still want to keep it somewhat tactical. I don't really want it too outlandish, but if I find them small enough, I might do something. Another idea is I seen because I'm unfortunately when you do MilSim stuff, you can't wear all that. They won't allow it because they still
Mm,
have to have it somewhat military simulation. So
yeah.
they said I can keep my lower, but I can't do horns or anything like that. So
Uh,
what I might do is create a full tactical helmet with that I could take to a Milsim event, but have
mm,
detachable horns that I can put it on. I've seen things where you can, like motorcycle helmets, they have these magnets where they
yeah.
can click them right to the helmet and then you can take them off. So that's an idea. That or I'm thinking about working on a new, like the helmet will look similar to what I have now, but it's going to be like a different color scheme.
Okay.
So thinking of more of a stealth style one, basically it'll be black on black with different details to it, maybe some red inlay into it or something like that. So
Yeah.
kind of what I'm working. Again, this is all out of my brain. It's all custom work too. I don't send it out to people. The horns are not 3D printed or anything like that. I basically get them from different sources.
Mm-hmm.
All the paint work, I do all the work to it. So yeah, that's all my creativity. That's all out of my head.
Right.
So
That's
I mean,
cool.
I love throwing Norse mythology into anything that I do. So if you look at some of my helmet designs, I'll have Norse signals or runes or anything into
Yeah,
the helmet.
runes. Mm-hmm.
Same with the stuff that's on here. The black helmet. If you look at the two, those are Odin's ravens.
Yeah.
That's what they represent. And the other one, the green helmet, that is to symbolize the tree of life.
Right.
So yeah, so I love having. So the next one is again, I'm just playing with it, but again, like I was saying earlier, making this helmet is a process.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, because I don't want to put nails into it or screws into the horns. Everybody say, "Why don't you just screw them in?" I go, "Yeah, but then it hurts." So I'm being using like epoxy, basically JB weld, plastic weld.
Yeah.
So that's how they're attached.
Mm-hmm.
So because it's also a lot more lightweight than because I don't even feel when they're on. And then yeah, that's how I've broken a few horns is because I don't feel that they're on there. Like it's happened twice now. I've clipped
Oh yeah.
corners of walls and things, and yeah, I just rebuilt the green one because the green one, in one of the pictures, you can see it looks like it has goon tape around it, which that happened. Ran in a wall and it clipped and it came off, and I'm like, oh
Oh
my
shit.
god, it's hanging. Oh shit! So that one just got rebuilt. So that one's done. And then now I got to work on the black one because the black one that was a night game. I think someone shot off the side of the horn because it's hanging So now I got JB, I got tape on that one too.
Nice.
That's what sucks. Is like, yeah, it happens all the time. It's like
Mhm.
it's wear and tear.
Yeah,
So
if
the
you want,
next,
like, you got to
yeah,
have a balance of, like, you want it to be light. I mean, you're wearing this thing, running around with the, you don't want to add a bunch of weight to your helmet. So it's, I mean, it's already uncomfortable wearing a helmet for hours at a time.
hmm
So you don't want to add something too heavy. If you make it too light, then you risk it being broke or shot or whatever, and
hmm
somehow cracking or breaking. I mean, that's just,
hmm
you're kind of like, okay, which one do I want? Do I want it to, do I care if it breaks? Or do I want it 10 more pounds on my head? Like,
hmm
which
yeah.
one?
Like I said, when I was creating this idea for the first time, I asked a few people that were doing cosplay style airsoft, and adding gear and all that. And someone told me, if you're gonna make this, make it comfortable because you're gonna be playing in it. Don't make it to where you can't move or move around or anything. That's why I haven't really gone too crazy with the loadout. I have ideas where I want more fur on stuff and kind of doing like a battle belt with like a fur, like uh kind of like a skirt thing hanging down so that way I can run around with it. But it's just adding weight. I still want to be able to move and actually do things. But again, I have so many ideas that I want to do, but it's money, it's time,
Yep.
it's just because again, it's all custom work and you can't have it within minutes. You got to actually put time in. I got out of my schedule. I actually have to take time to make the stuff and add it to it and work on it. And yeah, it gets fun.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
It
Like I said,
is.
if
It's
you
a lot of work.
if you look at my buddy Sci-Fi Night and look at his get up, yeah, it's he can concur with me. It's a lot of work. It's so much work.
What's his, is that his
Sci-Fi
Instagram?
Night, yeah, inside Sci-Fi Night, yeah, Instagram Sci-Fi Night is TikTok is the Sci-Fi Night. If you look at his setup, you're gonna know what I mean. And he and I are
Oh,
buddies, and we talked. We were actually having this conversation last night about gear.
oh, I didn't even know about him. I wasn't following him. I just followed him. Let's
Cool.
see. Let me share his thing here. The Sci-Fi Night.
Yep, that's him.
Oh yeah. I
Yeah,
see.
he's got the crazy paladin armor.
Uh-huh. Whoa, that
Yeah,
helmet, bro.
yeah, and it's all metal too. That's what I'm like trips out on him. I'm like, and he looks at me and he goes, "Dude, isn't that crazy what you wear?" And I'm like, "Dude, look what you're fucking wearing."
Oh my God.
Oh, it's crazy shit up. I know, I love it though.
Oh, that's cool, but man, that's a big ass helmet to be all metal.
Pretty
Woo,
much.
buddy.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's a lot of gear.
I know.
That's a lot of
I
gear.
tease him. I tease him all the time with it, but it is what it is. He does what he does.
Dude, have you seen these like this picture right here reminds me of the videos I've seen where the dudes are doing uh they're like LARPing in the knights in shining armor type of
Oh yeah,
setup, right?
yeah.
Real swords, real metal swords, but they're dull,
Oh, and the MMA fight stuff.
and
Yeah,
they're
yeah,
in
yeah,
the
yeah.
octagon,
Yeah,
and
I've
they're
seen this
beating
stuff.
the shit out of each other with these swords, bro.
Yeah, I watched the video the other night. Yeah, that's insane. And these
I'm
guys are
like,
coming out bloody nosed and everything, and I'm like,
and they got full metal gear on. Like, this is crazy.
hmm
Yeah, well,
that's
I brought
insane.
that up to somebody that I was talking to when I first saw the videos. This is like a month and a half ago. And they were like, "Yeah, I've seen those." And they wear those armor stuff. They have to be rated just like the old style ones, just like where
hmm
it can take the impact and it can. And he said, most sword fights, I mean, you see them in movies, they're really elegant and brutal and like, precise, and you're chopping somebody's arm off or leg off or head off, but and stabbing somebody. But most sword fights back in the day, the original sword fights, a lot of them were just like a beating match, like you're
Yeah,
hitting them with a club
yeah,
because they have so much armor on.
they were actually in like competitions and stuff. They were actually using blunted swords, so that way they
Hmm.
weren't trying to kill each other. It was more of the competition to score hits.
Yeah, yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Oh hell yeah! So I said brutal times back then. It was crazy because like I said, he and I were having a conversation about people that again, not everyone's going to like our setups and our gears and all that because we're
Sure.
people think, oh, you guys are being kind of cringy and all that. And I'm like, you know what? Don't care. We
No,
don't care.
no.
I don't care. I know that for a fact. I don't care. And I know he don't either. It's like, we're having fun with this. We're out here shooting toys.
Yep.
You know, there's no
Yeah, and
need to
it's
be,
well, there's a
again,
place for it too. Like you guys wouldn't wear that gear. You wouldn't go to a, like you said earlier, like a real style MilSim or an event that is based on, because a lot of those MilSims, at least the ones we know of and we've gone to, they're they're pretty strict about their uniform requirements, right? I mean, you can't go there. They're not a LARP event. I
no,
mean, I guess it is technically, but
technically, yeah,
but
technically.
it's like you can't show up,
But they want it to be full military simulation. I get it, but it's a
right.
military LARPing simulation at the end of the day. I mean, again, and there's
Yeah.
guys I've been to one, and I'm like, yeah, it was fun, it was challenging, but again, some guys just take it a little too serious, and I'm
Oh
like,
yeah.
okay, I mean, I get it, that's why we're here, but again, this isn't military, dude.
Yeah.
This isn't the real military. We're out here, we're out here trying to have fun.
Yeah.
I get it, that's the whole point of the simulation stuff, but still, at the end of the day, we're having fun.
Well, the good thing too is with the airsoft community and how I feel like how big it's gotten in the last bunch of years. I mean, I'm new. Like we just started our channel 5 years ago. I didn't know not one thing about airsoft before we started our channel. So I
Mhm.
knew, well, one thing, little spring pistols, right? Like the clear
Yeah.
plastic ones that I
Yep.
bought my kids when they were like 12. But
Yep. The Walmart specials.
that is it, man. But yeah, there's so many options now with airsoft. So
Insane.
especially in California, you guys have so many event coordinators and so many fields and so many indoor fields, outdoor, like all these different things where if you don't like the full-on military simulation one, you don't have to go to one. You can go to a LARP event. You could go to a 12-hour. You could go to a just a one-day skirmish. You could go
Mhm.
to, hey, we're having a Star Wars event. Okay, wear
Yep.
your best Star
Yep.
Wars gear. Like it
Yep.
is so there's so many options, which makes it really it's great because nobody has to get hung up on shit, man. I only got one option over here. Like I have to dress like this. I have to wear this gear. I have to wear
Mhm.
this uniform. Uh, I don't really want to do all that, but I want to play airsoft. So I guess that's my only thing. But you have tons of options.
Yep. And
It's a
that's
great thing.
yeah, and that's my point. That's kind of one of the things that's out there is to show people that you don't have to follow the norm. You can
Hmm.
do what you want.
Yeah.
You can be whatever you want out here. There is no structure of like you have to look this way, you have to dress this way, you have to act this way. No, you can do whatever you want. It's simulation. We're LARPing. It really, at the end of the day, this is LARPing.
Yeah.
I mean, most guys want to take that route. Okay, fine. You go have fun with that. I'm gonna go do this.
Yep.
I'm gonna go out here and wear this stuff and have fun with it. And goof around and stuff like that. And that's to me, that's the best part. Is when you can actually goof around and have fun while you're doing it.
Yeah. This guy that I talked to, the podcast came out today, actually this morning, and he's 16. He's in the UK,
Mm,
and his dad got him in airsoft when he uh, I don't know 5, 6, 7 years ago or something like that. So he was really really young when he got
hmm
started. Well, when he first started going with his dad, he wore a teddy bear strapped to his back. Okay,
yeah.
it was like he's a little kid when he started,
Right.
and he still wears that today. He's got this full on like really badass looking military gear setup.
hmm
Okay. And it looks awesome. He's got, he's running a good gun and everything. And then he's got this teddy bear on his back.
Yeah. He's
And
got what
it's
we call he's got what we call battle buddies.
that's it.
And most of us all have one. I mean, I know a few guys that have battle buddies on them. There ain't nothing wrong with it. I want one. I even told people, if you find a Viking battle buddy, I'll put it on my rig.
That's a great idea, man, for
I was
real.
like, if someone can find me one, I'll put it on my rig.
What's cool too is like when he's playing, he's like because of his, all these guys, they're dressing up like full on military, right? They kind of not all look the same, but if you don't have an identifying feature on your gear or on your kit,
Hmm
it's kind of hard to tell like who's who.
Yeah.
And he's
Uh,
like dude, I've had so many people come up to me and go, "Oh, I see your Instagram. You're the guy with the teddy. I saw the teddy bear and I know who you are." I think it's cool, man, you know?
Yeah, that is the crazy thing is when you get recognized now. Like I never thought I would get recognized outside of gear.
Mhm.
And it's happened to me a few times. Just, and you're like, hey, I know you, the guy, you're the Viking guy. I'm like, oh, okay, cool.
Yeah,
Thanks, man.
right?
Thanks. Appreciate it. I was like, shit, I didn't think no one was gonna. But on the flip side of that, it's funny because some people don't even know who I am until they see me to the gear. And I've been to events where I was sitting next to a whole bunch of guys that I talk to all the time when we play.
Yeah.
But I'm sitting there on the side, and they walked up and they're like, "Oh, well, who's coming today to this event?" No, like someone's mentioned me, and they said, "Oh, Viking's going to be here." And they're like, "Oh man, I haven't seen him yet." And I'm laughing because I'm like, "I'm right fucking here."
Oh,
And,
that's
and
funny as shit, dude.
so I'm like, "Okay." So I walked over and I paid, got my ticket, walked over, I put my gear on, and they're like, "Oh, you're here!" I'm like, I was sitting right there, dude.
It's like
Oh
Clark
my
Kent
god!
and Superman. It's like
Yeah.
Clark Kent sitting there, you're sitting there, and everyone's like, "I wonder when Viking's gonna show up." And then you go around the corner, put your stuff on, and you come right back in like 2 seconds. They're like, "Oh, he's here!" I'm like,
Yeah,
yeah, I was sitting right
yeah,
next to you.
yeah. It was funny. I laughed, and I'm like, "See, the quote Bane. It's like no one knew who I was until I put on the mask."
Yep. Yep. Oh, that's funny, man.
Oh, it's crazy. Like I said, but now, I mean, more people know me without the gear on now. Some still see me with just they know me by the gear only, and other people they're like, "Oh, I know who you are." Like I've seen you before. Like, hey, we've played with you. We're like, okay, cool.
Yeah. It is kind of cool, I think, some of these guys do the for their airsoft like Instagram, whatever, they never show their face, right?
Yeah, I know a few of them that do
It's
that.
kind of cool, it's kind of cool. I mean, I think it's kind of getting a little overdone, right? Or it has gotten overdone in the past. And I
Hmm.
think a lot of those guys are like, you know what? It's fine. It's like they started out that way and then they changed. Like, I don't care if you just get done from an event and you already took some of your stuff off. You already got your face mask
Hmm.
off, your helmet. It's like after you're out, game's over, whatever. You're sweaty, you're tired, you're hot. And then somebody's like, oh shit, let's get a group picture. Like, oh, okay, fine.
Yeah,
You're
yeah,
like,
that's happened at a few events. That's why whenever we go to a big event now, I always kind of keep my helmet. I mean, I'm not wearing
close.
it, but I'll have it hanging on me somewhere, so that way it's like, okay,
Hmm.
someone wants a photo, I'll make sure to grab it real quick and throw it on versus going like, hold on, let me go back to the car and let me go
Right.
grab it,
Uh-huh.
because people are like, you want to get a picture? And I'm all,
Oh shit.
sure, give me a minute.
Hmm. It's funny.
But yeah, it's crazy.
So what do you got planned? You said you got some stuff coming up. I mean, I know Shogun is always on the move and doing some more things with events and
Yeah,
stuff.
I mean, we got TAC League next Sunday. We're all going to that. Um, otherwise than that, the Shogun's got the speed team trials are starting to come up. They're going to be doing that here pretty soon. I know Ronan will probably talk to you about that next time you talk to him.
Yeah.
Um, they're starting that now, and so yeah, we're moving and grooving like always.
Nice. Now, do you have any plans on getting new guns or gear
Oh,
or
I'm taking a break for a while.
yeah,
That SEMA M4 was probably the last one I got. I'm getting next
gotcha.
thing I get will probably be a new pistol. But other than that, I got money's got to go towards other things in the moment.
Oh, sure.
Planning a wedding for one,
Oh,
so that's one thing. Yeah, so
oh shit, okay.
yeah, most money's going into that at the moment.
Bro,
So yeah,
for real. That shit is not cheap.
I don't know. It's not.
Speaking of photographers, like you were talking about earlier with like how much it costs you to have somebody come out and take pictures. Wedding photography, bro, get out.
Yeah, you're not kidding.
It's insane.
Yeah, it's insane. My wife and I, when we were looking at photographers. We're like, wow, that's expensive. Like almost 2 grand for just that. And it's like, holy, and that was the cheaper option.
Yeah.
That was the insane part. Was like that's the cheapest.
Yep.
So luckily we got a plan going on with that. So because of the package that we're getting, photographers included. So we're good with that.
Okay. Nice. Yeah, man, it's a big ordeal. So, do you guys have a date set?
October 10th, 26.
Okay.
So
Nice.
we got some time. got some time. So yeah, so we're most money's getting towards that right now. So yeah.
Now, where did you guys meet,
Uh,
or how did you meet?
Funny enough, we met on MySpace back in the day.
MySpace, dude. Shout out MySpace.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I just saw a meme today, dude, that was like, I think it was on X or something like that. Somebody had posted like, Gen X had, oh shit, I can't remember what they had. Anyway, all these different things that, each generation had that,
Mhm.
like their thing, like Facebook, like this and that, and
Yeah.
TikTok, right? For the new ones.
Yeah.
And then somebody said millennials got gypped. They had MySpace.
Right. Yeah. We got gypped. All
Because
right.
it
But
didn't
I can't.
last.
No, it did not last. Facebook killed it,
Yeah,
and then now we got Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, Face app, everything under the fucking sun now
yeah,
versus MySpace. That was the only thing we had. And there's days where I miss MySpace because you could do a lot on MySpace that you can't do on these other ones.
absolutely.
It was a good time. But yeah, I mean, everybody ragged on it. I go, well, I can't rag on it. I met my future wife on it, so
Yeah, dude, that's
you know.
awesome. Yeah, I never ragged on it. I loved it. I had a MySpace when it was out. And I loved what you could do, the custom, customizable stuff you could do on it. It was really almost like an open source. I know that's probably not the right word, but you really had a lot more say in
Creativity.
how your stuff looked.
Yeah. Dude, if you my wife, she makes me laugh. She goes like, dude, I learned code real quick on that because I was able to do everything you could over that.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
yeah, and I was like, yeah, you actually now I'm like, can you, it's funny. He's like, can you remember any of that now? Probably not.
No, me neither. I still remember the break in code,
Yep.
I don't know what they're called, but I guess the less than and greater than symbols on
Yep.
the outside of and then type in the word break, and that was your
Mhm.
your line break, right?
Yeah.
But that's about it.
Yep. I remember those. Like I said, you had to look at a book to remember how to do it correctly, and I'm like, oh, okay, we'll just do this.
Uh-huh. Yep.
Now you can't do that. I don't even know how I could do that anymore.
No, I mean, all that stuff's built in. It's easy. You just click
Mhm.
around and add stuff, but yeah, MySpace, cool, man. That's awesome. Now, how does has she ever gone to airsoft with you or played or?
No, she goes with me to events and fields and stuff and hangs out, but she doesn't want to partake. She's like, "That's your thing.
Yeah,
That's what you want to do." She goes, "I'll go with you and I'll hang out with you and stuff like that, but I don't want to partake. That's your hobby."
yeah,
So I'm glad she comes and hangs out, though. I do appreciate when she comes out with me.
yeah. It's cool. My wife's the same way. When I was years ago when our kids were young, I was just out of the military. I went to the range a lot. I taught all my family how to shoot, my mom, my sisters and stuff, even though they're against guns and all that. I was like, I don't care. You don't have to like guns, but you're going to learn how to shoot one. Okay. That's it.
Mm,
And so my wife, she loves just, she doesn't enjoy shooting. She won't go out there and like, oh, I'm going to have fun shooting targets, but
yeah.
she knows how to handle a weapon. She knows how to protect herself with, safety and all that kind of stuff. And she likes going places like that. She's gone to the range with me in the past, years ago,
Mhm.
but she don't really, she's like, no, I'm good. Like, I don't really have to go out there and shoot or whatever. She's kind of the same way. She's very supportive of it. She loves it. She loves that I'm into guns,
Yeah.
but, and into shooting and stuff, but yeah, it's not her thing,
Hmm.
you know?
Like I said, she goes out there and she'll kick back and read a book or get work done if she needs to and stuff like that. So that's what
Yeah.
she does. And she always loves hearing the banter of everybody, talking shit and all that. So she laughs.
she, she laughs so much when, so Brandon from Skirmish, the company Skirmish,
Mhm.
the bracelets
Yeah,
that
yeah,
you
yeah,
track.
yeah.
In fact, shout out to the sponsors of this episode, Skirmish and Jackal Tactical. Go to skirmish.net or playskirmish.net. All those links are in the description. You go to jacktac.com to find out more. I
Yeah.
really appreciate the sponsors. But me and Brandon talk probably 3 or 4 times a week. Okay, we're just we just started. He just started calling me, or I started calling him, and we'll talk and stuff. And my wife and Brandon, by the way, was in the Navy for a long time. Okay, many
Mhm.
years, and he loves airsoft, and so. you know, that camaraderie when you have, you know, how guys joke around. Okay.
Yep.
Well, we'll be in the car driving and he'll call and I have my phone, you know, on the dash thing and I'll answer and put on, you know, it comes through the car thing, or I have it on speakerphone or something and my wife's up there. And so the way we talk to each other is like two military vets, you know, and we're
Yeah.
just talking shit to each other. That's how we joke around. That's how we show affection. Okay. And we get off the phone and she's just like, she's laughing the whole time. She's like, oh my God, you guys, if somebody heard on the outside heard you guys and didn't know, you'd think you guys hate each other because all you do is put each other down. Like, you know, when we're messing around, we're joking around,
Right.
you know, it's
Yep.
really fun. So, but yeah, she laughs. So so you got all this stuff going on. You're a part of Shogun and you're planning for a wedding, which is awesome.
Thank you.
So yeah, man, that's cool.
Yep. Busy life for the Viking.
Yeah, there you go. Well, listen, man, I really appreciate you being on. It's been
Oh,
great meeting you. Yeah, I was really happy to
definitely.
meet you.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely, dude. Let everybody know where they can find all your airsoft stuff.
Oh, okay. Well, like I said, you can hit me up on Instagram at Vikinger, VIKINGR/X62. I had to change that because supposedly Instagram didn't like my original Airsoft Viking.
Oh,
So I had to change that. Yeah. Get into that. TikTok is still Airsoft Viking, and YouTube is Airsoft Viking.
awesome.
So
I'll have
I've
all those
actually been,
links. Yeah.
yeah, I've been putting a little bit more work into the YouTube of late. Kind of was putting more into Instagram. That Instagram is fun, to say the least. Facebook, not so much. Facebook's kind of personal for me, personal stuff. So I don't put too much Viking stuff on Facebook.
Gotcha.
But
Yeah.
it's mainly Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube.
Yeah.
More Instagram and YouTube at this point. TikTok's kind of weird too right now. I've been noticing that TikTok kind of wants me to pay to promote my stuff, and I'm like, not doing that. Yeah, I'm not paying you any money.
You know what's funny is you'll go, oh, like I get these prompts all the time on my Instagram. Oh, promote your thing, boost your thing, you know, pay to boost your thing. And then
Yeah,
my whole channel, my whole page on Instagram is banned from promoting, but it still pops up on every
yep,
post and say
yep,
boost it. And I'm like, okay, yeah, you're just effing with me now. Okay. Like
yep,
you know that I can't do it, but you're still
yeah.
sitting here
But you
giving
want
me
me to
this
give you money
prompt.
for it? Yeah, because you're thinking
No,
they're thinking that you're going to do it so that way. Oh, if I give you money, you'll take the ban off me. Oh, sure. No, I've had a few people actually tell me that of late that don't do anything.
uh-uh.
Once you're shadow banned, you're shadow banned.
That's it.
That's there's no way around it. You know,
Nope.
unless by something that then well, supposedly Instagram has been lighter of late with anything, gun posts or anything like that, but
Hmm.
we'll see. I don't believe
I don't
it.
believe it either, bro.
Otherwise, I would still have another, 1,000 followers in a day if that was true, but I don't think so.
No, it's like a
Yeah,
slow creep. Okay. Like,
pretty
oh, I
much.
got 2 followers yesterday. Oh my God, what?
Yeah, yeah, finally,
Is really like word of mouth. It really is
yeah,
like word of
it
mouth.
is.
That's
Yeah,
why. So here's a pro tip, by the way. A couple of guys I was talking to today earlier from the UK, they're really good about every single post that they do. They tag where they're at, like the field or the
yeah,
store, or like they tag all that.
hmm
They tag who they're with. They tag, and basically it's like we're going to tag all these people. It's like word of mouth, and
yep.
then
That's pretty
you
much
get
idea.
yeah.
Yeah, I pretty much do that as well. I tag pretty much everybody that sponsors Shogun. I sponsor people in Shogun. I'll tag people that I know, put it in stories. Once you get people to share your stories, and then then how it goes. And yeah, sure, when people share your stories and they share your content, that's how it gets around. That's the way to get around this weird ass thing that they got going on.
I know, dude. That
It's
we'll
stupid.
never know. I don't think we'll ever know the truth on it and as to why, but whatever. You know, it's
At this point, yeah, it's too much.
so I started posting way more on X in the last 6 months because of that. And so I'm just really trying to move gradually to that. I still use Instagram a lot to reach out to people and find people,
Yeah,
but I'm really doing a lot you know, I'm doing way more activity on X than I used to, but yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, who knows? Maybe it'll
Yeah.
change in the future if
Hopefully it'll be nice, you know, just to, I mean, the whole thing is to promote what, I mean, that's what makes me laugh about these social media sites is that they want you to use it to promote your hobby, your passion in your life all over it. But if it doesn't fall within their parameters,
yeah.
you're screwed. You're not going to get it.
Yep.
So, you know, but it's just Instagram makes me laugh so bad because they they harp on airsoft, they harp on paintball, they harp on any gun related items, but yet people can get away with practically being naked on Instagram and get away with it, and nothing happens to them. And you're like, what are we doing that's different?
Dude.
So it's again, I can go on Instagram for hours, but
It's not
yeah,
fun. It's not a fun
no,
conversation because
no, it's not.
it's frustrating.
It is. It's
Yeah,
frustrating because
it
we would
really
love
is.
to, so that way it would be unbiased, so that way we can get all our content and everything out there, so people can see what we do.
Yep.
And that's why we do what we do, is to get people to see how the joys
The
and the
fun of
funs
it.
of airsoft. Yeah, the
Yeah,
fun of
dude.
it. You know, it's again, it's promoting our passion or our hobby, and it
Yeah,
sucks when that's being regulated.
exactly. Well, listen, brother, I appreciate you, man. Thank you so much. Shout out to Shogun, the team you're on. Shout out to you for being on. Yeah, anyone watching or listening, go to Shogun if you're not following them already. I'll put their link in the description as well.
Definitely.
Shout out to the sponsors of this podcast episode, Skirmish and Jackal Tactical. And thanks again, man. I appreciate you. You have a good night.
You too, boss. Thank you, brother. Thank you for having me.
All right, bro.
All right, man. See you.